Well, we saw those clouds quickly pushing out by early afternoon. You really see those skies blue up, and then those clouds are going to start pushing back into our area. We saw a lot of those severe thunderstorms making their way into our area. This is what we're going to be calling the upper level pattern tracker. As we can see, those blue lines and those red lines are going to be the indication of any of severe weather, what we would call advection. So when we're looking across the state of Texas right now, we see a lot of strong advection where you're seeing those tightly packed red lines with those tightly packed blue lines, and that's going to really push their way through the panhandle, that Big Bend region, and we're going to start seeing a lot of severe weather really develop along that sort of Corn Belt line is usually where the dry line is going to be at. We'll see a lot of strong ridging as we make our way through the rest of the week, and then I really want you to keep your eye down here throughout the rest of the weekend, and again off to the west coast, as we're really going to see two of these low pressure systems completely cut off from any jet level support, and they're going to spin independently of each other, really keeping that weather holding still while we continue to watch a lot of moisture being pulled up between those two regions where we're going to see a lot of severe weather activity. The upper or the moisture tracker really going to give you an indication. Watch this cold air and dry air plunge down, and the same thing goes for the Four Corners region as you start to see strong moisture as another system moves its way across Canada, causing a lot of that line of severe weather that we have been seeing throughout the last week and last weekend. And so this is going to see the rest of the pattern. You're going to see it just again, severe thundering, flash floods, even some severe tornado watches as we continue to make our way into Monday. And even if you keep your eyes over the Concho Valley, you start to see a lot of that developing weather in that pattern we have been seeing. So right now over the Florida, we're starting to see a lot of that low pressure system that pushed out of our area, making its way into their area. And then again, when we talk about what's affecting us, well, it's going to be this jet stream way up here to the north, and then this jet stream way down here to the south. And when those two jet streams come together, you see where they collide right over San Angelo. And when we get a closer look, really starting to see some of that severe weather watches being issued for those northern parts of Texas where we saw last night. And then we get a good look at our area around home, and we're starting to see a lot of those. Brady definitely got nailed today, and then as you make your way, you're starting to see some of those spotty showers picking up here and there. You see the high-res radar picking up some of those clouds. A lot of those storms still pushing off towards Mason, and we're going to be keeping our eye for any of those storms making their way in from the west like we did last night, mostly from the Sterling City region, where we're going to see a lot of those storms really make good time getting across the Concho Valley. Look how quickly that storm is going to push into San Angelo and then make its way through towards Junction overnight. So we can see a possibility for a lot of severe weather again tonight. Temperatures right now, everyone's sitting in the 80s and in the 70s or those upper 70s. So we are seeing a lot of those warmer temperatures, but definitely seeing a lot of those more humid temperatures too, where you're starting to see the dew points are going to be one of those areas that we're concerned about when we talk about severe weather. So it's not going to take a lot since they're up there pretty high, along with the humidity that we're seeing. So right now the severe storm outlook really showing us across the Concho Valley. We're still sitting in that marginal risk right now, so we do have the opportunity to see a lot of that severe weather we had been seeing. So tonight, temperatures going to be dropping down into those mid-60s, where we are going to have the opportunity to see a lot of that severe weather we saw overnight thunderstorms. So make sure you're parking the car somewhere safe. Make sure you're tying things down. Don't leave anything out there loose. I know I had a couple chairs blowing around in myself. Tomorrow, going to have those temperatures drop up into the 80s. We're going to see a similar cloudy start, on and off showers clearing out by the afternoon. And then we start making our way into that sort of pre-weekend time, and we start seeing those temperatures really stay around the 80s, those lows staying into the 60s, and then we're going to see a lot of those AM PM showers even into next week, where we're talking about the end of May, the beginning of June, that hurricane season, where we're going to continue to see those temperatures stay in those mid-80s with those lows staying around those 60s, and that's where we're going to see a lot of those PM overnight thunderstorms. Stay tuned, we'll have more KSAN news coming up after the break.